Greetings everyone, this is First Centurion 753 with a new series for the game Geopolitical Simulator 4 Power and Revolution, and this series is titled A Neoliberal Approach to Brazil. Now, I have to give some of the credit to name to Professor Moriarty, one of my dedicated subscribers. He's the one who gave me the idea to call it the neoliberal approach. And I'm sure there are some particularly American conservative subscribers out there that might be freaking out with the name neoliberal, but it might not mean what you think it is. It doesn't really associate with modern American liberalism. It's actually kind of the opposite, almost the opposite of American liberalism today. All right, whereas American liberalism argues for more of a almost Keynesian approach to economics, where the government intervenes with things like stimulus packages and everything and spending to try to stimulate the economy. The neoliberal approach is actually very opposite. Neoliberal is more of a geopolitical term, and in South America, neoliberal actually lines up more with American conservatism. Going back in history, it aligns closely with classical liberalism, and classical liberalism comes from basically the beginnings of capitalism, and a famous Scottish economist who outlined the fundamentals of capitalism and basically led to the neoliberal revolutions, or not the classical liberal revolutions of the 1800s, by the name of Adam Smith, and he wrote a book called The Wealth of Nations. And those of you who study economics know that Adam Smith is basically the founding father of capitalism. And so neoliberal approach to Brazil means that we are going to reduce government intervention in the market. We are going to cut spending in a lot of these areas here. We are also going to cut taxes. Let's see how much the taxes are. Yeah, these are all going down basically, and this is going to go down as well probably. We are going to deregulate. All right, and I'm sure I'll be able to find certain regulations in here that I can get rid of. We are going to establish a free market, and one of the things where neoliberalism might conflict with American conservatism is, especially today, it didn't used to, but recently with the past election, neoliberalism is going to promote free trade. Free markets, free trade. So that's a little bit of a contradiction there. So conservatives in America can get angry about that. Political freedoms is also going to be another big step for neoliberalism. We're going to not put a lot of restrictions on the people. We're going to allow them to be free. We're going to allow them freedom of speech, freedom of the press. And we are just going to get out of the way. The government is going to get out of the way and let the people do their thing, basically. Now, there are criticisms to this theory. Oh, and before I go with the criticisms, the two goals, particularly for this series, are going to be, one, to raise the national GDP to 10 trillion. Okay, it's right at 1.7 trillion right now. The goal is going to be to raise it to 10 trillion. And right now, just looking at the numbers here, big numbers here, economic growth is in the negative. So that's good to start off with for us, because we're gonna blow up the economy pretty much. Unemployment is at 5%. That's not gonna be a problem with all the economic growth. The big problem, the big number that we're gonna have here is going to be this inflation number. That's going to be probably the biggest challenge for me in this series, because it's going to be easy to explode the economy. We're going to make trade deals. And we're going to grow this economy. We're going to cut taxes, and we're going to make trade deals, and that's going to grow the economy. The problem is, this is going to explode when we do that. However, according to Milton Friedman, who is one of the leading proponents of the theory of neoliberalism, he's one of the ones who articulated it in the 20th century, and it was actually applied, I believe, in the 1970s and 80s in Chile. I might have those dates wrong, I'm not sure. But according to Milton Friedman, the polity of monetarism will deal with currency management, and does allow for government intervention in the money supply. All right, it is opposed to fiscal policy intervention. It wants to get the, unlike Keynesian economics, John Maynard Keynes, who's the one who came up with the prevailing theories of economics post Great Depression and post World War II era. Again, that whole government spending to stimulate the economy approach. Friedman opposes that, and instead of fiscal intervention through the Treasury, Friedman argues for intervention through central banking, and allows for monetary intervention in the approach of interest rates. Oh, those interest rates are really high. I was hoping they'd be much lower, because I think I can only go up to 20% in this game. So we're going to have to reduce the inflation through interest rates, but I'm also going to use trade, again, as an approach to reducing intervention, and we are going to trade with a lot of these South American countries. We're going to buy, basically, from all these South American countries, and we are going to sell to the United States. Hopefully we got to improve our relations there. United States, maybe Europe, maybe Japan. Those are going to be our primary markets that we're going to sell to, and we're going to buy resources from all these countries. Okay, and that's going to align with our second goal, goal in this series, which is to become a South American hegemon. Okay, hegemon, we're going to be, de facto power broker in South America. Basically, everyone is going to do what we tell them to do, and if anyone gets in our way, we are going to intervene. There's a couple countries here that seem to be slightly upset with us. When you look at Brazil, Brazil is a right-wing party at the time, so this won't be a problem, because our policies are going to be more right-wing policies. Ecuador looks like they are opposed to us. They are communist and they are left-wing. Venezuela is going to be another communist country. This might be a country. Whoa! Look at that Venezuela inflation. That is insane. We might end up invading Venezuela and grabbing their oil reserves. They do have a lot of oil. Who's this? Guyana? Guyana's got pretty high enough. Oh, they got really low inflation there. Another communist left-winger. And Suriname, they have a Suriname. They are socialists, so they're not aligned with us. And then, of course, this is France, of course. Looks like we have good relations with France, so we can kind of leave them be, I guess. Colombia has a right-wing government that will align with us nicely. Peru, very good. Bolivia, communist. Ooh, it might be a communist takeover. Now, the other approach, I may move my special forces into a lot of these countries. I'm definitely going to have special forces agents in all of these South American countries. And I'm going to first move to do some political spying, but then with the left-wing countries, I'm definitely going to start to move them towards, have my agents start to, they're all socialists. I'm going to have my agents start to try to manipulate elections, and we'll see if we can remove people from power. I may even do a couple assassinations, so one place where I will be doing some spending is probably Secret Service here. I'm also going to be doing some spending here for military intelligence and industrial intelligence, because since we're not going to be able to fund any research, since we're cutting our expenses, I'm going to counter that with a attempt at stealing technology from heavy technology countries around the world. Maybe some of these Asian tiger countries. Taiwan looks like a nice target. South Korea, that'll be a good one. Ones that don't have huge economies that aren't going to be big trade partners for us. We could probably get a couple of these countries in Europe too. Maybe some of these Benelux countries here. We can steal some technology. Maybe Italy. They don't seem to like us too much. Alright, so that's going to be our approach to dealing with the problem with technology. Going through the other criticisms, like I mentioned before, criticisms of neoliberal policy. One is that it focuses on economic efficiency and not as much on what's happening at the expense of the people. So all these nice beneficial programs that help housing and development and different policy, cultural things, sports and the media, we're not going to be spending anything there. Alright, we're not going to be doing any spending there. And that might end up hurting some people. But we are going to lower taxes. Taxes, not only on the rich, but we are also going to lower taxes on the poor and the middle class as well. Everyone is going to have less taxes to pay, less government in their pockets, and they'll be able to spend as they see fit. They will use rational expectations. We have rational expectations that people will act in their own best interests. All right, people are the best people to decide. Individuals are the best to decide how to spend their money. This value-added tax will also be reduced heavily. So will the company tax, because we want as much freedom as possible in our economy. I may even just get rid of this tax on petroleum altogether. That is a big amount of money. But we might just get rid of it, as well as deforestation, which comes to the next criticism, which was environmental impact. Now, this is going to be a slight problem because we are going to, again, deregulate, and we're going to allow people to do anything, companies to do anything they want. Probably going to cut back on a lot of these spendings here. We might keep some money for natural disasters, because that is something the government should get involved in. But for the most part, we're going to allow for the exploration. Oh, no, this is banned. Oh, we have to get rid of that. That has to be removed. We have to explore and exploit our resources to the best of our abilities as these within this neoliberal approach. No restrictions on traffic. Why would we restrict any type of transportation? And tax reduction for clean energies? Well, a tax reduction is nice, and this might be the one step where we can maybe go ahead and promote some economy or ecology. That might help us a little bit. The other step is going to be with energy. Now, we're not going to put any restrictions on the energy businesses, but since this game does have the government manage energy and electrical production, we might as well just increase all of our clean energy, and I think that will solve the problem. Clean energy and some tax cuts for people who go for clean energy. I don't see that conflicting with our neoliberal policy. I think it actually will help our neoliberal policy. The third criticism is a class warfare. Again, this goes back to our situation where we will be cutting taxes on everybody, not just the rich. Everyone will be cutting taxes. We will not have any taxes whatsoever. Our economy is going to grow so much that it's going to bring in so much income that a very little amount of taxes will be able to afford the very little government expenses that we are going to bring in. Other people criticize that because of this focus on economic efficiency, and class warfare, well, there may be some problems with an increasing prison population. However, when we turn to our founder, Adam Smith, in his book, The Wealth of Nations, he does allow for the government to spend on the administration of justice. There are 3 areas where Mr. Smith says the government should commit to public work expenses, and I'll read right from The Wealth of Nations here, and it says, after public institutions and public works necessary for the defense of society, which means we can spend money on the military there, and increase our arms race, increase the size of our army, for defense of society, and for the administration of justice. Those 2, defense and justice, are 2 of the areas where Mr. Smith, our great founding father, allows us to have the government spend and intervene. A third area mentioned here are in other works and institutions of this kind, chiefly for facilitating the commerce of society. So that is actually going to come into debate, because a number of neoliberalists of the 20th century would argue that infrastructure, and Adam Smith also talks about roads being privately run, but the debate is the 20th century is that the government should not intervene in infrastructure. However, our new neoliberalists, our new leading conservative power in the world, presidential leader Donald Trump, is one who is in favor of infrastructure expansion. So we may go ahead, and that is going to be something we'll have to debate within our party, within our ideology. Can we allow for infrastructure? That is something we have to debate on the channel. But after commerce and society, those expenses for promoting the instruction of people, the institutions for instruction are of 2 kinds. Those for education of the youth, which means we will be spending money on education, and those for the instruction of people of all ages, which means any type of job training or college education is going to be allowed within our ideological philosophy, ideological approach to Brazil. So we will be dealing with public expenses in those areas, but nowhere else. Nothing else. None of this workers' benefits. These all need to be cut and reduced. We need to reduce all of these minimum wage, minimum solidarity. Why should the government give out handouts to people? People should be allowed to work as much as they want to increase their wealth and increase their benefits. No benefits to people who are not working. Money should not be spent there. Money should be spent elsewhere. Other areas of concern will include, other criticisms do include global health and corporations, but we'll be able to manage our health with a proper reallocation. And we're going to start with that right now. Proper reallocation of wealth. We will not be spending so much on reimbursements for visits to the doctors. They can handle their own. And hospital treatment. This is something that people should be spending on their own. Instead, we will reallocate these funds into areas that will bring in dramatic cuts, but still more efficiently help the population. And so maternity is also added in there. This is how you properly manage a budget of healthcare. Look at that. I am saving $8 billion by cutting expenses, excessive expenses in certain areas, and boosting it where it is needed. We'll confirm that, and that will allow for a great reduction of government expenses. And let's just see where that takes us. And here we go into the second day, and there it is. People love this new policy of reallocating funds. We are spending significantly less. 25. The budget deficit has now dropped from 35 billion to 20 billion. We are now spending $10 billion less through educated reallocation of the funds and government reduction. Everyone seems to love us.
And I tell you that I keep harping on to my great-great-grandchildren about it.
Let's have a meeting with her.
Undeniably, you have inside you the founding values of society, such as love for family.
Let's change that date. Spread this out a little bit. Keep our popularity flowing. We'll make it in the next month. There we go. Very good.
Undoubtedly, you will remain the
even women love this new policy.
Gender equality in our country.
Even women agree with the neoliberal approach to government. There we go. Such humane treatment. Let's take this into April. There it is. We'll spread out these endorsements that will be coming. What do we have here? Recipe for success. Popularity leaves us speechless. This is excellent. Alright, the next move is going to be a meeting with our ideological friend here, Mr. Trump. Ronald Trump. And we're going to make a deal with him. No, thank you. So again, buy cheap from South America, sell big elsewhere. That is the neoliberal approach we're going to take. Two goals, like I mentioned, $10 trillion in GDP. And like I said, we're going to try to promote human rights. People are going to be free. The only area where it's not going to be free is we're going to try to extend the power of the head of state. Traffic is jammed. Ooh, that's going to be a problem. Let's see here. Poll on this issue. Yeah, let's go ahead and extend the mandate right now. Very good. Champagne.
I'd be
Charming.
your...
I do not want to be her to be my mistress. That is, that's gross. All right, party card.
Okay,
Yep. Speak highly of me in public.
okay.
That's good. Politically aligning ourselves. This is going to give us a nice boost into the 70s. Traffic is jammed. I don't know what to do with that. We might have to go ahead and spend on infrastructure. I'm going to try to avoid that if possible. Again, so I'm going to approach this as from an ideological point of view. I am not going to play on, what I'm not going to use any type of realpolitik strategy here. I'm going to try to stick to the ideology of neoliberalism, deregulate, free markets, free trade, cut spending, cut taxes, and political freedoms for everyone. That's our approach to this game. And we're going to try to see how far we can go with that approach. And can we achieve the goals we want? Look at that, 70. Beautiful. Greater funding for education. That's something we can actually do, I think. Let's hold off on that for a little bit, though. We're going to see if... Where is my structural deficit? I think a trade deal with the United States would definitely stimulate. Now, where can I cut here? Can I cut places? I wonder if I can do the same thing I did with healthcare. And how much is that? $1 billion. No way. I'm gonna cancel that for now. We're gonna have to...
I have to tell you that I am filled with pride.
There it
as the
is.
Mother of a leader who is so loved by the people. But don't forget what I used to tell you when you came home from school with a good grade.
Oh.
Being good isn't enough. You have to be the best.
The best. That's a lot of pressure. Alright, when is this meeting with the United States? So go ahead and feel free to post down below. Where should I cut expenses first? How do I counterbalance that? What are we going to do here? Establish aid for purchase of property? No. No. Regulate. No regulations. No regulations. Good. We don't want any regulations. Reduce it. No aid. We should do that too. Not right now though. I wonder how much that would save. Let's do our Secret Service. While we're waiting. What do we have here? Terrorist organizations. Yick, there are a number of terrorist organizations in this country. Well, let's see if we can infiltrate them. Try to shut these guys down. New political family, okay. We are going to spend on the police, because that's administration of justice, and we are going to spend here. I have a lot of agents. Alright, let's look at the exterior. We'll manage the networks. Where do we... China? Can I do technology? Industrial spying, yes, that's what I want. China. Egypt. No, not necessary there. Confirm that. Industrial spying in China. Let's meet with Ronald Trump here. Coffee.
Sure. Dark and strong, please.
He is neutral towards us.
Very kind.
Compliment? Does that boost it? Oh, no. Alright, time to make a sales contract here. Alright, and I was thinking I could probably sell up to 10% of my GDP. So, I'll see what happens to inflation after that. So, let's see. And I didn't really look, I haven't analyzed my markets yet, so I'm not really ready to... No, I want something big. Automobile construction, 15 billion. So 10% of our GDP is going to be $170 billion. That's what we'll do with this trade deal. And let's just see. Because if you look at the inflation, did I pull that up? I can't pull it up. All right. It was at 9%. We saw that before. But I can allow for growth, which was -3, which should put me at a 7% growth with a 10% increase. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Then we'll just have to really hike up those interest rates, I think, right away. But also we're going to buy from other areas. We'll buy from all the other South American countries. All right, so automobile construction is something we can go for, I think. Let's see if we can get a better price. Now, he's a tough negotiator. Found that out in other series. Ooh, that's pretty good. 17. 30. 20. I don't know how many deals I have, or rounds of negotiation I have. I think I'll take it. 16.5. 16.5. Let's accept that deal. Alright, we still got a lot to go here. We're going to go up to 170 billion. That was automobile, right? Aluminum, we did bananas. Bananas. We don't have enough bananas. Bauxite. There's a lot of bauxite. I don't know how much they want, though. Let's go on to something else. Beef. Beer. Bottled water. Housing. We need housing. We need cement. Cereal. Nope, we need cereal. We're not producing as much as I thought. I thought Brazil would have a lot more resources. Aha! Here we go. Ooh, this is a nice chunk here. 70 billion. Alright, let's give that a shot. 3.5, 87 billion looks good. Right there. 92. Let's go for it. 92 billion. That's a nice deal. 92 billion puts us at 108. Alright, so we got about 60 billion more to get out of Ronald Trump. I don't know what's going to happen to the economy. I think inflation's going to go crazy after this. What was that? Chemical industry, clothing. No, thank you. Cocoa. I need billions of dollars. Nope. 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 I don't know what else I have. Cotton. A little bit of cotton. Come back to cotton. Don't have any diamonds. Electrical materials. Alright, we need some electrical materials. Electricity. We've got electricity. Let's see here. They've got enough electricity. Electrical components. They could use some of these. That's not a good price differentiation to negotiate with. Flowers. Foul. No, not enough money. Fuel. You can make a good deal here, I think. Oh. Stick right there. 11 billion. $12 billion. Alright, 14 billion. 14 billion. That puts us up to 122.5. Alright, what else can we get from Mr. Trump? That was fuel. Gold? We've got gold. They've got enough gold, though. Grapes, iron. Ah, here we go. Not a lot. Might as well. Deal. Another 12 billion there. $137, $134. Alright, we got about 40 billion more, 30 billion more to sell. This is gonna really explode the economy. We did iron. Jewelry. No. Lead. No lead. Liquor. No. Maize. No. Milk. No. Natural gas. No, we need natural gas. We're really short on natural gas. Oil. That's not enough, I don't think. We could sell oil the same price somewhere else. Paper, perfumes, pharmaceuticals, plastics, pork, potatoes. Oh, we are running out of products here. I thought Brazil would have a little bit more. We are really short on steel. Sugar. Sugar cane. Synthetic fibers. Tea. Tobacco. Uranium. Whoa. Looks like a deal. I think this will seal the deal, hopefully. Oh. $148, 20 billion. Ooh, nice. Right there. I'll take it. 21 billion. Alright, I think we'll be good for now. Let's see how that impacts us. Military alliance. Do we have any type of military alliance? No treaty, non-aggression pact? No, they refuse. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Trump. And thank you, everyone else, because I think that's going to be the end of this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you liked the idea where we're going with this. Feel free to comment down below what you guys think. Any comments on neoliberalism? First contracts. Here we go. Love of life. Minister of Health. What is that, love of life? It says do with gross national happiness, huh? People seem to be very happy, but only in comparison to the rest of the world. These results are the latest rankings with regard to happiness, namely gross national happiness. Now you can always improve things, like for your children, the best for your people, basically. This is why you've been elected. Okay, looks good.
Well done. You have just signed your first contract. A note from my department will allow...
Okay. Okay. And I want to just see the results of the contracts here, because I think that's going to really stimulate economic growth. At least I was hoping it would. End of the week. Just waiting for the end of the week here. Should be coming up. Right at the end of Sunday. Here we go. This will recalibrate. And we'll see how much money we end up making on this deal. And I think I should hike up interest rates at the end here. Oh boy.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Alright, so we've extended that. Dropped a little bit in popularity. Happiness has increased overall. And taxation, there it is. Budget deficit has dropped even further due to the neoliberal policies of free trade. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.